Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Passable Ball Knowledge Podcast. I am Sam. That is Aaron. How's it going, Aaron?
Doing good. Um, you know, just kind of cruising along. Season's coming to an end. Pissed off that the Chiefs made it, but it's whatever.
Yeah. Well, we don't really feel like talking ball. It's Pro Bowl week.
It's boring.
You know what's really fun about Pro Bowl week? The Senior Bowl. Seeing some guys go out there. And on the topic of the Senior Bowl, we're going to do our mock drafts, plural, because we both went off, did our own mock drafts, and we're uniting to compare and contrast and talk about who we have with some of these picks. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Um, I'm looking forward to it. And Aaron, I'm gonna let you take it away. Commissioner Goodell walks out with the first pick. The Titans fans anxiously waiting. Who do you have them taking?
All right. I just want to preface this. This is just off of needs. I didn't look at analytics. I didn't look at any of that. I just went off what PFF said they needed.
And
Um,
Aaron knows. Aaron is still getting a handle on the mock on the
yeah.
class a little bit, but I think you know ball. I trust you. I
I
think you know
know. I
ball.
know enough to do a mock draft.
Yeah,
Um, with the first pick, I have the Titans taking Cam Ward out of Miami. Um,
me too. Me
it
too.
just makes sense. Although I am reconsidering for Shadur after the new GM compared him to Joe Burrow,
Yeah.
which makes me think that they like him a lot to be the first overall pick. Um, but I just think Cam Ward makes more sense kind of for this team. I don't know why exactly. I just feel like it does.
Yeah. I mean, not much to say. This is what everybody expects. I think Ward has bigger upside. I think he's a guy that I trust more as a franchise quarterback.
I think he's more now ready too. I think he's gonna be
I
ready.
I see the pros and cons of that. I think Shadur is a bit more technically sound as a
Yeah,
passer, but I think Ward has a more NFL ready arm.
yeah,
So yeah, I mean overall, not a big surprise. Tennessee needs a quarterback. If anything, it's going to buy Brian Callahan a year or two.
yeah.
He's gonna be able to say, well, you can't fire me. I just picked a quarterback. Let us develop. Yeah, no surprise there. So I will now be do the second pick for the Browns, and with my second pick for the Cleveland Browns, Commissioner Goodell walks out and has the Cleveland Browns selecting Abdul Carter, the
Ooh,
edge rusher from Penn State. I think just for notice, guys, if the other person doesn't chime in and say that they have the same thing, that means that we have different picks. So Aaron has a different pick than me. I think Stefanski is comfortable going out and getting a 1 year stopgap, like a Kirk Cousins, like someone like that, rather than forcing the pick to a quarterback that he doesn't like when next year's quarterback class projects to be at least a little bit better. This is a very thin quarterback class, especially at the top of the draft. I think Cleveland is going to see Abdul Carter and they're going to say, "Man, maybe we can win with defense." So we're going to pair Abdul Carter with Miles Garrett,
yeah,
which would be a freaky duo. I think Abdul Carter is just the best player in the class, and I think Cleveland's just going to take best available, much like they did with Miles Garrett a few years ago, rather than forcing a Mitch Trubisky, or maybe if they would have taken Patrick Mahomes, that would have worked out better. But no one saw it at the moment. So,
yeah.
yeah, that's who I have. I have Abdul Carter going second.
With my second overall pick, I don't have them picking a quarterback either.
Ooh,
I have them picking Travis Hunter out of
yeah.
Colorado. You know, they don't need corner as much as they do with these other positions. And I don't know how they stand on Shadur really. I don't know if they love him or if they're, grading him as like a round two player.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't know. I just don't see. I think the Browns, front office is thinking, we have Myles Garrett. Do we really need another edge rusher on the defense? And I think they're thinking, let's just make our defense that much better and get, our number one corner or even maybe a receiver for the next, hopefully like 10 years in the future.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's just why I have them picking Travis Hunter.
All right, so we both have them taking best available over the quarterback.
Yeah.
So I will let you take it away. Commissioner Goodell walking out for the Giants, the New York Football Giants with the third pick. Who do you have them selecting?
With the third overall pick, the New York Giants select Shadur Sanders,
I agree. I have them
quarterback
taking
out
Shedeur
of
Sanders as well.
Colorado. I think. if he falls to them, they're licking their chops at Shadur. They're thinking, man, we have a really exciting quarterback that maybe fans can finally get behind. We won't have some boring guy like Daniel Jones
Mhm.
at our quarterback anymore. Uh, so yeah, I think I think this is kind of a popularity pick, but it is also um, a pick that can really help them in the future and finally, get them back to winning once again.
Well, yeah, I think for me, the way I see it is that Shador, they just need a quarterback,
Yeah.
like desperately need a quarterback. If they
They
don't
can't
get one,
they can't take like a few more years of backups and
yeah, they need somebody. Shador will get asses in seats, undeniably. And I think ultimately this is a Brian Dable's opportunity to save his job.
yeah.
If he can get a good first year with Shadur, where maybe they don't win a ton of games, but maybe he throws 20 touchdowns, 4 picks, and you could say, hey, we got something here. Let me keep working with this kid. That might be his excuse.
Yeah.
But I think Shadur to New York makes a lot of sense at 3. Not much more to say. They just need a quarterback really bad.
Yeah.
So that's where we'll leave it. With the 4th pick, I will be doing the announcing job. The New England Patriots in my mock draft select Travis Hunter, the cornerback out of Colorado. I think they take best available. They pair him up with Christian Gonzalez and they say, hey, maybe you could come in, do a little bit of receiver work too. We need some receiving help. Have him maybe do a little teeny bit of both, but I think mostly he's going to play corner in the NFL. I think he's just more better. He's more natural at corner than he is at receiver. But yeah, I think Travis Hunter ultimately is the fit for them. I think he's the best available at 4. I think they would have taken him at 1 if they had the chance. So yeah, that's who I have. I have Travis Hunter at 4.
Um, with the fourth overall pick, I have the New England Patriots selecting Abdul Carter
Mhm.
out of Penn State.
So we just flipped them.
We we flip flop on those. I just think that I think Abdul Carter is a real game changer on that defense. I don't believe their pass rush was very good this year, if I remember. You trade Matthew Judon, who obviously didn't do much for the Falcons, but you get his replacement or as close as you can get to a replacement with him.
Hmm. Yeah. All right. Aaron, you will be doing the honors with announcing the 5th overall pick. The Jacksonville Jaguars. Who do you have?
With the fifth overall pick, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars taking Will Campbell, tackle out of LSU. Um, I think it's too early to reach on interior for the Jags, and they're just gonna try to do anything they can to try to boost the pass rush or pass rush, um, you know, boost pass block for Trevor Lawrence, and
Hmm.
just try to help as much as they can on that line.
I agree. I agree. You know, actually no, I don't agree. I agree that they should do that, but I don't think they will. I think that the Jaguars will select Mason Graham, the defensive lineman from Michigan, best available. It's really that simple. In this is a draft that's very thin. You're not going to be able to get every need you want. I think sometimes you just have to leave this draft and saying, "Hey, we got the best player on the board when we were picking."
Yeah,
And I think that's all you can do. I really think that's all you can do with this draft. So Mason Graham, I think they get out. I think they're comfortable. And yeah, I think they just go the best player on the board, dominant defensive lineman, and just hope that they can see those improvements and just hope that hey, maybe Liam Cohen alone is good enough to improve this situation for Trevor Lawrence.
yeah,
At number 6, the Las Vegas Raiders. Pete Carroll sitting in the room. He's like, go get me Ashton Genty out of Boise State, the running back. Pete Carroll loves to run the football for a split second. I was thinking this could be Jackson Dart.
yeah. Oh, I thought the same thing.
For a
I
split
was
second, I'm
re-
like, this could be Dart for
I
sure.
was really close to picking Jackson Dart or Jalen Milroe for them.
Yeah, but ultimately, I just don't think they had either of them had good enough weeks at the Senior Bowl. Um, so I think the Raiders once again they're probably looking at their board and they're like, hey, this is the best player we got. Let's just go get him. And I think they will go get Genty, solidify the core of that offense as a running offense, and I think they can view it as kind of, hey, if we want to go with Aiden O'Connell, we're okay because we can at least run the football and help him out a lot with Ashton Genty. So that's who I have. Who do you have at number six?
At the number 6 pick, the Las Vegas Raiders select Tet McMillan
Ooh.
out of Arizona. I think they, I was split on Gentry or McMillan. Um, but I just think McMillan is a more surefire person to be like. I think he's going to be great in the NFL. I think he's going to be a
Mm,
fantastic player. He has everything that you look for. He's big. He can run. He just has everything you look for. And I think hopefully they're maybe looking at not being fantastic next year, and they're looking at a better quarterback class next year. So they're saying, let's get somebody for hopefully that future quarterback, but I
mm,
don't know about that. So it can flip flop, with maybe with the next mock draft or anything in between. But as of February 2nd, I have them picking Ted McMillan.
mm. Okay. All right. I like the pick. I have him in the top 10, so he will be coming off the board very soon. Aaron, number seven, the New York Jets, led by new head coach Aaron Glenn.
With the seventh pick, I have the New York Jets taking Mason Graham out of Michigan.
Mm,
Aaron Glenn gets his defense guy. I don't think they pick anyone except for defense unless if they really want to reach on a quarterback. Um, but Mason Graham, best on the board. He's just a great player, and I think Aaron Glenn wants that defensive piece that he can really work with, like he had in Aiden Hutchinson.
Okay, okay. I also have them taking defense. Aaron Glenn, obviously a former secondary player. Uh, so I was between two secondary players. And I think that the Jets end up with the seventh pick selecting Malachi Starks, the safety out of Georgia. I think is a legitimately good player. I think he's a pro-ready player. He flies around. I liked watching him a lot, and I think that Glenn is just going to fall in love with one of these secondary guys. I think he's going to take Starks, who probably fits what they need more, considering already have Sauce. They already have some good corner prospects out there. I think Starks is probably a better fit for what they need, so I have them going Starks at seven.
Yep.
With the eighth pick, the Carolina Panthers, who have a lot of hope going into next year. Once again, man, this is a draft of best available. I think it's the same story again. I have the Panthers selecting Will Johnson, the corner out of Michigan.
I have the same.
Okay, good. I think Johnson is a big, big body. Stout shutdown corner. I have concerns about his tackling. I think his tackling needs a lot of work. I have concerns about his speed. I think he's not very fast, but overall, I think you take potential there. The offensive line is pretty good in Carolina. I don't think they take receiver. I think they go best available. I think they go Will Johnson. Just make it simple.
Yeah. Um, I don't really have much to say. Same reason as you, pretty much. Just they need it most.
Okay. All right. Aaron, the Saints at number nine.
You
Probably led by Kellen Moore. Probably led by Kellen Moore.
yeah, Saints at 9, Ted McMillan's off the board. They're thinking, let's just go get the next best thing. With the ninth pick, the Saints will select Luther Burden out of
Ooh.
Missouri.
Okay.
Um, you know, I don't know I don't know if Olave is on a contract year. I don't think he's on a contract year this year. Um, but they could use any help they can get on that offense. They have Kamara, and then past Olave, you don't really have any weapons after that. Um, so yeah, I mean, I'm not like too sure about this pick. I was kind of like making this pick, but that's just who I have been picking.
I also have them taking receiver. I have them taking Ted McMillan. I think once again, take the best player on the board. It's that simple. McMillan's a big guy, really athletic. I don't think he's going to be as great as a lot of people seem to think he's going to be. I think he can be a good, pretty good wide receiver. I don't think he's necessarily going to be like elite, um, at least right off the bat. I don't think he's like a Marvin Harrison or a Malik Neighbors type of prospect. But ultimately, I think McMillan is a pretty surefire, at least good player. So I think that the Saints go there, and I think they just get the best available guy. And yeah, so with the 10th pick, I think once we get to 10, I think once we get to 10, things get interesting. Looking at it, I think it's kind of like the Wild West. I think that guys are the teams are gonna take people that they like more so than like the expected board
Yeah.
because this draft is so weird. So with the 10th pick, get Caleb Williams some protection. I'm going to take Armand Membu as the first offensive lineman off the board. The tackle out of Missouri, more likely to kick inside to guard. I really like him. I don't think he'll fall to the Seahawks. He seems to be a really fast riser. I have Membu going 10 to Chicago.
This pick is my biggest reach of the draft.
Ooh,
Uh,
interesting.
he's ranked really low on this board.
Yeah.
I also have them picking O-line. I have them picking Tyler Booker
Okay.
out of Alabama.
I've seen a lot of buzz about this Tyler Booker to
He's,
Chicago.
the best interior lineman in the draft. He's gigantic. He's a big guy. Um, and it just makes a lot of sense. He doesn't give up a lot of sacks. Um, and I think it's exactly what they need for Caleb Williams and their future.
Both have them taking O line. Aaron with the 11th pick, San Francisco. Where do you have them going?
With the 11th pick, I have them also taking O-line once again. And I have them picking my favorite tackle in the draft after my limited research. Um, I have them picking Kelvin Banks out of Texas. The guy just doesn't give up sacks. I mean, he's a fantastic tackle.
I
Um,
believe he won the award for best offensive lineman in the country this
yeah,
year. So,
and I mean, he's just something else. So yeah, I don't really have another reason other than like he's just a great player, and you know, he was pretty much top of the board
hmm.
for my picks. So yeah.
All right. I also have them going offensive line, except I have them going a different way. You already have this guy off the board, so it's a little bit different, but I have them taking Will Campbell out of LSU. I think they go tackle. Trent Williams is aging very quickly. Last year, he was hardly on the field for a lot of the season. And when he was playing, his play was much worse. I think you're looking at it, you're thinking, all right, this clock is ticking for Trent Williams. We got to go out and get his replacement while we still can. Will Campbell's a pretty good fit.
Yeah. That's another
Um,
reason I think too. Just Trent Williams is not what he
yeah.
used to be.
With the 12th pick, Aaron, you just brought up his name. I have Kelvin Banks going to the Dallas Cowboys at number 12. I think if Genty's on the board here, they take him. But if not, I think Jerry Jones is a believer in beefing up the O line. Uh, you know, I think that overall they probably look at it and they say, well, Texas fella here and Banks, and he's a good player, and I think they just shore up the O line. It's that simple. Get beefy and run the ball. That's Jerry Jones's idea. I think Banks is a good player in Texas. I think he stays.
Um, yeah, with my 12th pick, this is the guy I have had them picking since like mid-season before I knew like any of these guys. With the 12th pick, I have the Dallas Cowboys taking Ashton Genty
Mhm.
out of Boise State. It makes so much sense for the Cowboys. You know, you gotta you obviously had the passing attack. You have Dak, you have CeeDee Lamb. Um, Now you just like need that last little bit on offense, which they haven't had in since, Zeke and however long ago it was, like 2018, 2019. Um, and you finally get that guy in Genty, and that offense is kind of set for hopefully the next like 5 years maybe. Um, so yeah,
All right. All right. Aaron, Miami Dolphins, number 13 overall. Who you got them?
with the 13th pick, I have the fourth O lineman in the top 15 going off the board. I have Josh Simmons out of Ohio State
Mm.
going to Miami. Kelvin Banks is off, Will Campbell's off, and he's on at least on the PFF board. He's ranked above Kelvin Banks. Um, so yeah, Dolphins desperately need a line. Tua's head hurts very bad. Um, um,
Tua's head hurts very bad.
so you have no. I feel like if they pick anything other than O-line, they're just hurting Tua more and more. And, not really giving them any help. So they just got to pick somebody out of the line, and I think they pick best alignment on the board and go Josh Simmons.
Okay. Um, with the 13th pick, I have the Miami Dolphins selecting a quick riser and a quick player coming off the edge, Mike Green from Marshall. The Dolphins are interesting because I think they would love to take offensive line here, but I don't think there's an offensive lineman that they like. They took Chop Robinson last year. That pick worked out very well. He had a really nice rookie year. I think they want to take fat. They like their fast edge players, and I think ultimately Green is a guy that really wowed at the Senior Bowl. He left after like 2 days. That's how good of a week he was having. He's just like, all right, y'all have seen everything you need to see. I'll see you in Indianapolis for the combine, and he left. Um, just a really good week. Good player, man. So fast off the edge. I know you really like him. I don't think he makes it to Atlanta in real life. I just don't. After the week he had, I don't think he makes it. So give me Mike Green to Miami at 13.
All right.
All right. Well,
You're picking.
I was hoping you would be like, yeah, I like that pick. He's Mike Green's a good player.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Mike Green is a great player.
I mean, I'm assuming you have him off the board in the next five picks.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's
With
he's my favorite. He's honestly my favorite player. My favorite player in the draft. I
okay.
love him so much.
Okay. Well, I don't think you're gonna get him. Sorry.
I don't think we're gonna get him either.
With the 14th pick in the NFL draft, I have the Indianapolis Colts selecting Tyler Warren, tight end out of Penn State.
I have the same.
Okay, good. I think Warren is a guy that, listen, man, he's a good ball player. I really like him to Seattle if he makes it. I don't think he makes it. He's so versatile, great steady hands. I think you need to give Anthony Richardson all the help you can give him, whether it's through blocking, whether it's through receivers. I think Warren is a guy that's just a weapon, and I think you could really utilize him. And I have Warren going 14.
Yeah, I mean, he's played in the Big Ten, had a really good playoff. He's shown he could compete with the biggest teams and the best players in college football. And so yeah, Colts need tight end desperately. They gotta unlock something in Anthony Richardson this year. Or else you're looking at, maybe a bust, like a real bust happening with him.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, I think it's just the easiest, probably the easiest pick in the draft so far.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Falcons fan, with the 15th pick, who do you think the Falcons are going to walk up and select?
This is a ideal world where everything is
You
right,
biased son of a bitch.
where everything is right.
You biased bastard.
I mean, I had him falling anyway. I didn't have anybody picking him. I don't look, this is the one pick where I let personal bias take me. I don't think they're actually gonna pick him, but I went,
You
maybe they'll
mother
pick him, and I want him really bad.
motherfucker. You
So with the 15th pick, I have the Atlanta Falcons taking Mike Green out of Marshall. Um,
How do you let this happen? How do you let this happen?
look, look, look,
You
look.
are not a journalist. You're a
I will, I
fraud.
will, I will be honest. I did not have him getting picked.
What?
I had one edge rusher getting picked. So it's not like I picked somebody like Shamar Stewart above him. and then I let my green fall. I didn't have any other edge rushers getting picked. So I don't think he's gonna fall to us. I think in real life we're gonna pick Malachi Starks. But I don't think he'll fall either. Um so yeah, that's why I'm picking.
You motherfucker. You're so biased. You're so biased.
Not bad.
I know it. I can see it. You literally just said, "Yeah, I don't think he's gonna end up falling to us. I don't think he's gonna fall to us at 15." But you know what? If with the 15th pick, I have the Falcons
Just
selecting Mike Green.
wait until April 23rd.
Okay,
Roger Goodell comes up and says with the 15th pick, the Falcons will take Mike Green out of Marshall.
you're sick. You're sick. Well, with the 15th pick in my realistic, non-biased world, I have the Falcons selecting Michael Williams, edge out of Georgia. I think Williams after Green and obviously Abdul Carter is probably the highest upside player. But of those three, him and Mike Green have pretty comparable floors. Williams is a physical freak, like where Green is like really like twitchy and fast. Williams is just size wise so perfect for what you need as like a prototypical every down end. I think Williams, especially coming out of Georgia in Atlanta, makes a lot of sense there. That feels like a very natural connection to me. I think Michael Williams is a very realistic pick, and I think he's a good pick. I think Williams is a really steady player with a super high ceiling.
Yeah.
Okay, with the 16th pick, this is a name you've already had picked. I think the Arizona Cardinals select Tyler Booker, the guard out of Alabama. Not much to say here. A lot of people have been calling him the Will Anderson of offense, as in like he's like super like smart and like a leader. Like when Will Anderson was picked, everybody was talking like this guy has straight A's and he's like a high IQ player. That's what everybody says about Booker. I don't know if that necessarily helps his case because he's a guard and guards typically don't have to do much,
Yeah.
but like before the snap. But hey, it's gonna only help him. I don't think it could hurt him in any way. That'd be funny if his high IQ actively tanked his draft stock. Uh, I think Booker is a good high floor, low ceiling player. He has the kind of outlook to be like a above average guard for 10 years, but nothing more and nothing less.
All right. With my 16th pick, I have a guy that had a big rise over the Senior Bowl week. Um, and I have the Arizona Cardinals picking another pretty much like another small school guy in Gray Zabel, the tackle out of North Dakota State. I like him a lot. A he's a big guy out of North Dakota. Had a really good Senior Bowl. Um, so yeah, I just think, that's enough to get him picked in the top 20.
Interesting. I think Zabel is a guy also that will be there. I think he will go down the board, and I don't know. I think he will be a first round pick. I think here right now is a little bit rich, but frankly, in a draft where it's not a super great draft, hey, maybe a team fell in love with him at the Senior Bowl and they're willing to take him here. You know, so we'll see how that works out. So, Aaron, who do you have with pick number 17 to Cincinnati?
With the 17th pick, I have the Cincinnati Bengals taking Emeka Egbuka out of Ohio State. You're looking at, you know, T. Higgins leaving. Is Tyler Boyd gone already?
He's been gone. Yeah,
He's been gone. He's been
he
gone.
was on the Titans last year.
Um,
If you want to feel like he's totally disappeared.
yeah, I mean, it's the Titans. That's where receivers go to die.
Yep.
Um,
So congratulations, Cam Ward. Welcome to
congratulations. Yeah,
Tennessee.
congratulations, Cam Ward. But like, look at T. Higgins leaving, you're losing a major piece of that offense. And you obviously have a great quarterback in Joe Burrow, but you can't rely on Jamar Chase and Yossi Vash. It's just not um, a viable thing. So I have them picking Emeka Egbuka, he was the first person I think I heard about in this whole draft. Like I knew about him when he was like a sophomore or a junior.
Yeah.
Um, All right, is he a junior? I don't know. Um, but yeah, that's why I'm picking.
Okay. First shocker, maybe, of the draft night with the 17th pick in the NFL in the NFL draft. I have the Cincinnati Bengals selecting Jackson Dart. No, I'm joking. That's not the shocker. I have them selecting Matthew Golden, the wide receiver out of Texas. I think Golden is a name where people are falling in love with his ceiling. He was hurt last year, but he really had some great moments in the playoff. People seem to really like how he plays, and I don't know. I could easily see him by the end of this process being picked above Burden and Golden. I mean, and Igbuka, and that's what I have here. I think he's going to go above. I think someone's going to fall in love with his potential, and I think they're going to pick based on upside. And I think Cincinnati is going to get Matthew Golden, and there's going to be some audible gasps in Green Bay with people saying, "All right, so where does the fall for Luther Burden and Egbuka stop?"
Yeah,
Okay,
Mr. Seahawks fan,
with
you're
the
up.
18th pick, I want the Seahawks to select O line, but I'm trying to guess what they will pick, not what I want them to pick. Aaron, I have the Seahawks selecting Kenneth Grant, defensive lineman out of Michigan. Kenneth Grant is feels like a Seahawk for a number of reasons. First, Michigan ties. Mike McDonald was the defensive coordinator at Michigan in 2021. I believe Grant was on the team at that time. That tie to Michigan is clear and obvious. And the second piece is that the Seahawks and Mike McDonald's defense, it's really based off of having a good nose tackle to run the middle of that field and kind of line up right over the center. We had Byron Murphy doing it last year, and he was not. That's not what he's supposed to do. He was forced into that. Kenneth Grant, if you're wondering his size, he is 6'3", 340 pounds.
Goodness.
He's a big ass dude, and he's athletic. He was like chasing down running backs in the open field, like 10 yards downfield. He's chasing them down. I think Grant makes a lot of sense as a guy that the Seahawks will take. Mike McDonald is going to want to build his defense the way he's going to want to build it, and I think getting Grant is crucial to that. That's who I have the Seahawks taking at 18.
At 18, I also don't have the picking O line because John Schneider doesn't like that in the
Yep.
first round. Um,
Bullshit.
so with the 18th pick, I have the Seattle Seahawks taking a guy that I think is very realistic. You know, would just had a good Senior Bowl. I have the Seahawks picking Shamar Stewart
That's
out
a good
of
pick.
Texas A&M. You know, boost that pass rush. You know, as you were talking about. You know, sorry, you're gonna have you know, your guy playing nose tackle again. Um, but I think it's just like it just makes sense. It's a very John Schneider pick, you know, a guy that isn't like I mean, obviously he's up on draft boards after this week, but
Mhm.
he's not like the top guy and you know, like James Pierce was ahead of him. Uh, but I think it's just a very John Schneider picked in out of you know, out of left field pick for the Seahawks.
Okay, Aaron, 19, your arch nemesis Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Who do you have them taking?
With the 19th pick, I have the Buccaneers taking James Pierce
I agree.
out of Tennessee. My second favorite edge rusher in this draft. And I would be kind of pissed if you went to Tampa because I don't like the Buccaneers. They're my least favorite team in the league.
Him,
Um,
Vita Vea, and Kalijah Cansey is a pretty nasty trio there.
yeah, think
It's
out
a,
the top have a decent line. Um,
yeah, yeah. I like Pierce. I think he's a great pass rusher. I have concerns about his strength and his injury history, but overall, I think this guy was projected to be one of the top players in the class last year. So I think this year they're going to pick that upside and like they're going to say, hey, well, a year ago, this guy was pretty much number one on every single person's board. And now, after a little bit of a down year, we're going to get him down the board. I think that's a good pick for them. Okay. With the 20th pick, the Denver Broncos, led by Bo Nix, who had a surprising year. I think they got to do something to improve what they got with Bo Nix, and I think they're going to give him some help here with the 20th pick. I have them selecting Luther Burden, the wide receiver out of Missouri. Every year feels like the receivers fall, and it's always a surprise when they do. Every year they're like, the receiver, oh, how are these receivers falling down the board? This is crazy. What is going on? Like I remember a few years ago when Jackson Smith and Jigba was the first receiver picked at like 20, and a lot of people were like, "Oh my God, that's crazy." I think it's going to kind of happen again with these second tier guys behind McMillan. I think Burden goes to Denver. He goes in. He probably behind Cortland Sutton becomes the number two. He's definitely more dynamic than Sutton. Just kind of gives a little bit of opposite option for Knicks to look to in that offense.
Yeah. With the 20th pick, I have the Broncos taking a guy who's fallen very far down the board, um, with Malachi Starks out of
Mm,
out of Georgia. Obviously you lose Justin Simmons, a guy who's been a leader for you for the last, I don't know, 5+ years. I don't know how long he's been there
long
for.
time, long
He's
time.
been he's been what, he's 31 now. He's probably been there for, I mean, like eight years.
Yeah, sounds
Um,
right.
so you need that guy back. Uh, Not exactly like a leader, but you just need that like solidified safety back on that team, and that's why I think Malachi Stark kind of fits in.
Okay. Aaron, number 21, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
At number 21, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers taking Benjamin Morrison, corner out of Notre Dame. You picked Joey Porter Jr. last year. He's solid his first year. Um, but you need that extra boost, and I love Benjamin Morrison a lot. I like Benjamin Morrison a lot. Um, and I think he fits right into that Tomlin, um, defense that he has in Pittsburgh. So,
Okay. I have with the 21st pick, I have the other receiver that's fallen going off the board. I have Emeka Egbuka going at 21 to Pittsburgh. I think we saw it in the playoffs, especially and kind of in the tail end of that season when George Pickens is on the field. That offense is molasses, and I think Egbuka is kind of dynamic out of the slot, a guy that can make catches. I think his pro comp is Jackson Smith and Jigba, and I think the Steelers would. I mean, I think the Steelers would love that, like just a guy that can get open, get the intermediate stuff, and let Pickens eat downfield. I think Egbuka is a really good fit for Pittsburgh at 21 here, especially given that he's fallen a little bit.
yep.
With the 22nd pick, I have Jim Harbaugh taking one of his guys. I have him picking Colston Loveland out of the University of Michigan, tight end. He's the other kind of tight end in this class next to Warren. I really like Loveland as a prospect. He's big, athletic, strong hands, obvious connection to Jim Harbaugh. I think last year we Justin Herbert had a good year with what he was given, which was dog shit. Like he had Quentin
Yep.
Johnston and Will Disley and Josh Palmer and like Lad McConkey was the only guy that did anything. Going out and getting a guy like Loveland, big body, strong hands, good athleticism would really help this offense and its dynamic ability. So give me Loveland at 22 to LA.
22. I have them helping Trevor Lawrence a lot. I have them picking Matthew Golden out of Texas. Um, they just need targets so bad. Quentin Johnston sucks. Um, and Len McConkey isn't enough to, just carry this offense. He threw three. Justin Herbert threw three picks last year. If you can just give him weapons to actually throw to, and you may be looking at like a 35 touchdown, 5 to 10 pick season for Justin Herbert. That's just obviously like an ideal situation for them. So I think they have to go out and get a good receiver, and I think they get exactly that with Matthew Golden.
All right. All right. Aaron, number 23, the Packers.
Number 23, or with the 23rd pick, the Packers will select Mikel Williams out of Georgia. He's falling. Uh, I'm pretty sure he's just best on the board in this scenario. And the Packers need that pass rush. So yeah, just no other reason other than that.
All right. With the 23rd pick, I also have the Packers going edge. I have them taking Shamar Stewart, the edge of Texas A&M. I think you touched on a lot of why Stewart popped up boards. Had a great Senior Bowl week. Big guy. These A&M edges are getting some discussion for sure. And I think that Stewart's a solid guy. Um, Good pick. I think Green Bay really needs to help with the pass rush. Lucas Van Ness has not turned out like they want him over there. I think Stewart will help that defense immensely that the Packers just really struggled with this year at points. So give me Shamar Stewart. Their division rival picking at 24, the Minnesota Vikings. Their shocking elite season that ended very early to the Rams. I have them taking defensive line. I thought about maybe giving them interior offensive line, but I think I think they're going to go ahead and they're going to take Walter Nolan, the defensive lineman out of Ole Miss.
I have the same.
Yeah, Nolan had a great week. I really think he's very twitchy, very dynamic, getting around these guards as a smaller build of player, but overall, really athletic, really talented guy in the Senior Bowl, had a great week. I think Minnesota's going to be licking their chops to get a guy with that type of potential and to get after the quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, same reason. Had a great week. Um, and I think it's just a fit. I don't really have any other reason than that. Fits their need and it gives them what they need oh my God, what they want.
Okay. Aaron, you had 25.
25, I have a guy that you picked a lot earlier, but he's finally going now to the Texans. 25, I have the Texans picking Kenneth Grant out of Michigan.
All right.
Fills the need. Uh, I was considering O-line, um, but their pass. I think if I remember them talking during the playoffs how bad their pass rush is. Um, So yeah, I just thought, it makes the most sense for the Texans.
Okay. With the 25th pick, I have the Texans. We were talking about guys who had a great week. Guys who had a great week. It's kind of getting redundant, but it's kind of a great week. Gray's able to the Texans at 25. Interior and exterior flexibility. He can play tackle, he can play guard, he can play center. Literally can play all over the offensive line and played really well in the Senior Bowl at every single position. I think this guy has just a ton of flexibility, a guy that can step in right away and get going. I think Houston's going to need that. Stroud was just absolutely destroyed this year in pass protection. I think Zabel is a fit for them, and I think he makes a lot of sense after the week he had, um, falling into Houston's lap at 25.
All right.
With the Rams at 26, my hated Rams. I have them taking a guy that you had a lot earlier. He slid for me coming off a year where he was injured. Um, was kind of seen as a top prospect before he got hurt, and now there's some questions about him. I think he's going to take a little bit of a slide. But I think the Rams stop it at 26. I think they take Josh Simmons, the tackle out of Ohio State, at 26.
Hmm.
You know, just a really solid tackle. Like I said, injury problems are what's really setting him back. But I think LA is going to buy low, and they are hoping to buy low and reap a ton of benefits on a pick in the mid 20s. So that's why I have them taking at 26.
At 26, I also am picking tackle, and I have them also picking a guy that you picked a lot earlier. I have the Rams taking Armand Membu out
Okay.
of Missouri. Um, they need tackle. He's the best thing after the top three tackles in Campbell, Banks, and Simmons. And then Gray Zable's off the board. Uh, so they're just looking at best tackle on the board, and there's Armand Membu for them.
All right. All right. Aaron, the Baltimore Ravens at 27.
At 27, the Baltimore Ravens are gonna pick a guy that had a good week at the Senior Bowl. They need that physical receiver
I think we're going in the same direction
that
here.
they have been lacking for a long time. I have the Baltimore Ravens picking Jack Beck.
Besh. I found out it's Besh.
It's Besh.
Yeah, Jack Besh, and I agree as well.
Jack Beck out of TCU had a great week. Uh, I believe he's like 6'2", 2 something,
Very
like
physical. Very physical.
physical guy. Had a really nice, not just week, but a really good Senior Bowl game. Um, he looked great and looked really ready for the NFL. So yeah, I have the Ravens picking Jack Besh with the 27th pick.
Yeah, I also have the Ravens going Besh. I think once again, great week at the Senior Bowl, but more so, what really stuck out to me is how different he is from Zay Flowers
Yeah,
and what he can offer that offense. Outside of Zay Flowers, like Mark Andrews clearly is not the guy anymore to go to if you need hands.
yeah,
Besh, he had that quote yesterday that's going viral that people are talking about where he's saying everybody calls it a 50-50 ball, but for me, it's a 75-25 ball,
hmm,
which is a hard quote.
yeah.
Uh, so I have Besh going to Baltimore. I think he's a good fit. Had a great week. He's probably going to go in the first round after the week he had. I think he makes a lot of sense there.
Yeah.
At 28, the Lions need an edge rusher so bad. They need one opposite of Aiden Hutchinson. I had them taking Mike Green a while ago before he shot up the board, and now he's probably not even. He'll probably go at latest 10 picks before them. Um, I have the Lions taking instead a guy that had another great week though, Donovan Eziraku. I believe I have that right. Donovan Ezir Ruaku. I'm just gonna say Eziraku because it's easier.
I don't know who that is.
The edge rusher out of Boston College had a great week in one-on-ones. I think I think Dan Campbell, they like taking the Lions take reaches. I don't know if you've noticed that they reach on guys. Like when they took Jameer Gibbs at 12, everyone was freaking the fuck out. No one knew what was going on. Everybody's like, Jameer Gibbs, what the hell? And it worked. And then he took Jack Campbell at 18, and everybody's going, "Oh my God, what the hell, Jack Campbell?" They reach on guys, and they reach for guys that they like. And I think Ezuraku is a guy that is a prototypical fit for Dan Campbell, and is another edge rusher to put across from Aiden Hutchinson and let him go eat.
Um, I also have the Lions taking a reach. But on the other side of the ball, I have them picking an offensive lineman. I'm not sure about this pick. I don't really have a reason. I went off what they needed, and I was thinking they like to reach, so I'm just gonna pick them. Um, so with the 28th with the 28th pick, I have I have the Lions picking uh Jared Wilson out of Georgia. Out of Georgia. The center. I want this guy. I'm gonna look this guy up really quick.
That's the craziest reach ever.
Um,
Oh my God.
he is he doesn't he's 6'3", 310, big guy. Um, yeah,
The top level top level
draft analysis.
analysis
Yeah.
from Aaron there. Okay, hey,
All right.
good good job.
With the 29th pick, I have a less reach and actually a perfect rank to pick ratio, I guess you could call it.
Mm.
Um, I have the Commanders protecting Jaden Daniels and picking Josh Connerly out of
I have the same
tackle.
tackle
Uh,
slash guard. He
yeah,
could shift into guard as well.
protect Jaden Daniels all you can. You know, pick a guy that falls right to you. And yeah,
Yeah, I agree. I really like Connerly a lot. I have him as a guy that could be mocked to the Seahawks. I think he's very athletic. He's a little undersized. There's some questions about what he's going to play in the NFL. I think the guard and tackle flexibility for the Commanders is a really good thing to have. I think they need both. And I think Connerly really fits what they could use right now. And I have him going 29th to Washington.
yeah.
At 30, the Buffalo Bills, they need wide receiver too. I was thinking if I was wondering if Jack Besh was here, like, would they take him? I don't think they would because he's kind of just Keon Coleman esque in the fact that they both get these contested catches and they're both, like they're both big guys that can go up and get the ball. I think they're going to look for something different. And I have another guy who had a really solid week in Mobile. I have them taking Xavier Restrepo, the wide receiver out of Miami. Really quick, really fast. I think you have the idea that Coleman's your big dude that can go up there and get those passes. Shakir is the guy in the slot that is kind of dynamic, can do a little bit of everything. And then I have Restrepo as the guy that can really get downfield and fly. So that's who I have going to Buffalo.
At Buffalo, I have another receiver getting taken. Another guy that's kind of similar to Keon Coleman. Um, I have them picking Elic Io Manor
The
out of
the guy the guy at Stanford.
yeah, out of
Okay,
Stanford.
okay,
Um, they need a receiver really bad. Go get yourself another guy you can throw the ball up to.
okay.
Get yourself, I don't know.
Jared Will Jared Wilson.
Jared Wilson, if you ever want to come on the pod,
Yo, Jared.
you are more than welcome.
Jared Wilson, man. We love you. We love you.
I think Jared Wilson should get picked by the Falcons.
Oh, really?
Drew Dalman's gonna leave, probably gonna leave.
There's some buzz that he might be a Hawk. Drew Dahlman.
I hope he comes back. But if he doesn't come back, I'll be more than happy with picking Jared Wilson.
Jared Wilson. You're
I
welcome
actually
on the
like Jared Wilson
podcast
more than
anytime.
Mike Green.
What?
I like Jared Wilson more than Mike Green. I want to switch that pick actually.
Oh, so you're just gonna take who you want now. Jared
Uh,
Wilson is just your hero.
yeah, Jared Wilson, if you ever want to come on, I'll
Uh,
pay you.
with okay, Aaron, you have the 31st pick. Who you got?
Um, at 31, I have the Eagles boosting their defense, getting another piece for their D line. Um, in Jack Sawyer out of
Ooh,
Ohio
okay.
State.
I looked at him here. I did look at him.
Eagles, you already have that your two great, D interior D linemen. Um, and now you just boost that D line a little bit more with Jack Sawyer. Um, and you get that really good edge rusher that you need.
Okay. I have the Eagles taking Bill Norton. I don't have them taking Bill Norton,
I was gonna say,
but we did discover Bill Norton and Bill Norton.
if
If
you want to
you
come,
want to come on the pod, please, I would love to talk to you, man. I love your name. Now with the 31st pick, you had this guy going a little bit earlier. I forgot where. I think you had him going to Pittsburgh. I have him staying in the state of Pennsylvania. Benjamin Morrison had a Notre Dame going to Philly. I think Jarius Slay is 30.
Dame is it?
What?
Notre Dame isn't in Pennsylvania.
No, I'm saying like I'm going to
Oh, oh,
Pennsylvania.
oh,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
oh.
yeah. And I have him staying in the beautiful state of Pennsylvania, out of Notre Dame. Benjamin Morrison. No, but Benjamin Morrison, Darius Slay is 34. He's really getting up there. I think by the time next season starts, he'll be 35.
He's so good.
Corners, he's still good, but you got to think to the future. You got to think, hey, long term, who's Quinyon Mitchell going to play across? Benjamin Morrison sliding down the board, kind of best available pick. Go out and get him, make it nice and easy, and get your future after Slay is gone. With the 32nd pick, the last pick in the draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select this has potential outside of Jared Wilson and Donovan Izaraku. I think this guy has one of the top names in the draft. Uh, Ariante Ersery, the tackle out of Minnesota.
I have the same.
I love this guy's name. Ariante is such a fire first name.
Beyonce.
He's a stout left tackle. I was looking at him for the Seahawks and I found that he didn't really fit because he's a left tackle. Played like a ton of snaps in Minnesota at left tackle. The Chiefs need that position really bad. They had Joe Tooney playing out there in the playoffs at some points this year. Kingsley Suamataia, the guy that they picked to like replace, has been really rough. They don't really have a solution there. I think Airsuri is a guy who isn't necessarily plug and play, but is as much of a plug and play as you could get at 31. So I think Air is a great fit. I think he fits. I think he's ready to go, and I think he's a perfect left tackle fit for what you need.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have anything to say about him except for what you just said.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I think the Chiefs are going to get another guy that is gonna be really good and shouldn't have fallen to him. But like we're gonna look back at it and when he's going to be a really good player, they're going to be like,
I mean, this
why?
isn't even like a guy that's like, oh, how did he fall there? It's more so like
Yeah,
he's
but
just a good player and that could go in this range. This is once you're in this range, all the rankings from like 30 to 50 blend together. And it's
yeah,
kind of like, all right, who do we like the most and who do we want to get? Like what position do we need?
yeah.
So yeah, I that's what I got. So Aaron, looking at your draft,
Mhm.
any winners? Any clear winners from how your board fell?
Um, hmm.
I can go first because I have a couple in mind for my board.
I have a few.
Okay,
I think the Colts are a winner.
Tyler Warren. I would agree. I think
Tyler
getting
Warren.
Warren at 14 would be a
I
good
think
value
if
for
the
them.
Falcons somehow get Mike Green, they're a winner.
Honestly, I think the Falcons with Michael Williams could be a winner. I really think they could.
I think the Broncos with Malachi Starks would be a winner.
Well, I was gonna say my for my board, I think James Pierce to Tampa
Yeah,
would be a win for them. I think for the Broncos, I think getting Luther Burden at 20 would be a great value. I think Josh Simmons to LA at 26 has super high upside. I think Gray Zabel to Houston, it fits them so well. Just based off fit alone, I think that's a great pick for them. Um, you know, like I looking at my board, I don't see any direct losers, but
yeah,
we know how this board could fall. There were points where I was looking, I'm like, LA could take Jackson Dart. Hmm.
yeah.
Pittsburgh could take Jackson Dart. And I was just
Las
going
Vegas.
through thinking in my head, like, who's gonna reach for the quarterback?
Yeah.
Who's gonna do it? I don't know. That's left to be seen.
I think out of any team, it would be Las Vegas to reach for the quarterback.
Las Vegas, I think Jets could do it. I think New
I
Orleans
don't know.
could do it.
I think Aaron Glenn is going to try to play it safe with his first pick. He doesn't want to get fired immediately.
Okay,
That's just
yeah,
my philosophy.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Um,
Uh,
before before we wrap up, um, I would like to do the tradition of our today in history.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We got time.
Oh wait, this is February 1st.
Come on, Aaron. Come
Well,
on, dude. What's the matter with you?
two. Okay.
While Aaron's looking this up, I want to give a shout out to Bill Norton.
Oh, what is
Sunny
this?
days call for sun.
All
What
right.
was that? I just just heard that.
Um, I don't
Sunny
know.
days call for sun.
Um, today in 1887. Oh yeah, before we I'm gonna preface this. Happy Groundhog Day, everybody.
6 more weeks of winter, according to Punxsutawney
Um,
Phil.
um, so today in 1887, the first Groundhog Day is observed in Punxsutawney.
Oh, nice.
And then uh, oh, the National League of Baseball was founded today in 1876,
Oh, that's fun. That's good.
and the Battle of Stalingrad ended today in 1943.
Oh, that's big. That's big. That's a big battle. All right.
Oh, Grand Central Terminal opened today in 1913 too.
Oh, that's a damn big day.
Okay.
Big day. February 2nd, big day. And Aaron, we're gonna do my thing that we always do. We just do this in person. We're gonna do Sam's top five. You're gonna give me
Yeah.
something. You're gonna give me any topic, and I have to give my top five. It could be anything in the world. It could be
Ice cream flavors.
ooh. Okay. Okay. Number five. Okay. So I got to start with no particular order. I'm going cookies and cream, vanilla, slander me. I don't care. Chunky monkey.
Ben and Jerry's.
Yeah. Uh, I was gonna say pistachio. That would be so funny.
That's a
Uh,
good flavor. Pistachios in my top five.
Oh, we would need to have a podcast about that itself. I think it's just, I think it's a good flavor. I don't think it's top five. Give me the peach ice cream from Watch Hill. Uh,
Ooh,
and give me, what's the fifth one there? Oh, mint chip. Give me mint chip. I love mint chip. And then my
uh,
top five: number one, cookies and cream. Number two, chunky monkey. Number three, peach. Number four, vanilla. Five, mint chip. That's my top five.
I'm trying to find the name of the ice cream place in Watchilla.
To give them a shout.
Yeah.
Here, let's check this out. Watch Hill
Is it
Ice
Tootsie? Is it Tootsie's ice cream? No. Is it Dusty's? It's got to be Dusty's. Nope.
St. Clair Annex,
St. Clair Airnex. If you guys ever want some good ice cream, go to St. Clair Airnex in Watch Hill. We don't live there.
Westerly, Rhode Island. Shout out.
We don't live there, but
We don't live there. Don't try to find us there. We don't live there.
yeah, don't try to find us in Watch Hill.
Bill Norton, I know you're looking for us.
Yeah,
Don't try to find us.
Bill Norton,
And Jared Wilson,
Wilson,
Ariante Airsery.
Ariante Airsery. We know you're looking for us, but if you guys ever want to come on the pod, you are more than welcome.
Just give us a holler, man.
We will pay you
We will pay
over
you.
over $5. We will pay you
We will pay you just over $5.
just
Five
over
dollars and 20 cents. We
five
got it.
dollars and a quarter.
Yeah. All right. Um, Aaron, any final thoughts just on life? Do you have any life message? We have 6 minutes left. Any life message?
Um, when the crow calls, you know that it's time to get serious. So just always consider when that happens.
It's powerful, ladies and gentlemen. Powerful. I just want to say, sometimes you're gonna look into the sky and you're not gonna see what you want to see. But when that day comes, just be ready and go grab what you've been dreaming for.
Yeah,
That's gonna wrap up
the
this
Possible
episode
Ball
of
Knowledge podcast.
Passable Ball Knowledge Podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed. Drop a like, subscribe if you enjoyed. Also comment.
Roast me about picking Jared Wilson um
Yeah.
or be like, man, this guy really has some ball knowledge. Damn wrong.
Okay. All right. Whatever. Jared Wilson, Bill Norton, Ariante Airsery, hit us up. We're waiting. We will see you guys on the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out.